Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video tutorial. Today will be the fifth board in the same direction cannons, file chariot versus ranked chariot variation. This will be a continuation of the previous video. Again, red will adopt the double-headed snake pawns, while black will use the double ranked chariots. So in this variation we will discuss black playing the edge elephant. So without further ado, let us begin. Same direction cannons, proper horse, file chariot, rank chariot, p3 plus 1. Black goes r9 equals to 4 for the cross palace, rank chariot. Red develops both horses as a proper horse. Black does likewise, and red goes for the double-headed snake pawns. Black goes for the double rank chariot. Now, today's board we'll be discussing red playing a prophylactic move of e7 plus 9. Now, the reason for this move is that in red's formation, his main weakness would be this pawn over here. So with e7 plus 9, red would address this issue, provide protection, and also perhaps allow his chariot to be developed on the 7th file if necessary. This is a prophylactic measure, and this was born out of the analysis given in the previous boards. And this has slowly become one of the major variations of the double-headed snake pawns. Now, faced with this position, there are three variations that were discussed. The first would be r4 plus 3, the second r4 plus 5, and the last would be p1 plus 1. So, without further ado, let us begin. In variation A, r4 plus 3 to patrol the riverbank was discussed. Now, doing so, the main idea behind this move was that black wanted to trade pawns to allow his horses to be developed. Now, by trading pawns also, red's position would be weakened. If he wanted to play r1 equals to 3, for example, black would now play r9 equals to 7. So this file is basically very heavily loaded, and black might not gain any advantage in this situation. His discovered attacks might not work because of the chariot at this point. So, because the chariot was now on the riverbank, red would attack it imperatively, and black will be forced to play r4 equals to 6. Now, trading cannons at this point would not be a viable option because red would be more than happy to trade cannons and then switch formations to consolidate his defenses. And at this point in time, the lack of development of the black horses will become a major issue that black would have to address. If he traded pawns, red will be prepared to play. Say for example, if you let's say red made this move, if black tried to trade pawns, the red chariot will be developed. Again, black's formation in this situation cannot deal with the chariot very accurately. So r4 equals 6 is played. The riverbank cannon to protect the horse, p3 plus 1, so that if the pawn captures, red will lose material. But red will be faster with c5 equals to 4 to adjust its formation, forcing the chariot to the central file. Again, the chariot is attacked by capturing the pawn. As you can see, the black chariot has made too many moves while red kept on adjusting its formation. h3 minus 4, forcing the chariot away again, consolidating the defense. And after trading material, red's formation is very stable. He has this pawn which is ready to cross the riverbank at any point. And black cannot move h7 plus 8, or red would be more than happy to sacrifice the pawn to gain material. So red's formation is stable, and he has the extra pawn and commands the advantage. Now this would be variation A. Now in variation B, instead of the riverbank chariot, black would advance the chariot to the pawn rank. Again, h3 plus 4 is played. This is an attempt to put a squeeze on the black chariot to try to trap it and maybe hopefully capture it. Now, this move was already decided when red played e7 plus 9. So let's say black protected the horse. Red will play r9 equals to 7 to protect the horse. This is quite a stable formation in this situation. Black tries to trade pawns, otherwise this would be h4 plus 6 would be a fork on both material. And red will immediately play the cross riverbank chariot to try to gain material. And black traverses the chariot to offer a trade of material. This is a first instinct counter. It would be a bad idea to play p5 plus 1 at this point because black would be more than happy to capture the central pawn despite the black horses being linked. Because he would now play he will capture the horse and black's position would collapse rapidly. By this, for example, if red captured, check, let's say black countered, another discovered check, and black would lose the chariot. So red will gain material in this instance and have a very playable game. Now, c2 plus 3 to attack the horse is also not viable because red will push the pawn across the river, threaten the horse again, protecting the horse, and red would have the advantage after this situation. So this is quite a complicated position, but r1 equals 6 is perhaps the best move. Red immediately goes for the riverbank cannon to protect and continue with the same tactics. Now, if he chose to move r2 equals to 7, this would be a very complicated variation. Black will go for c2 plus 4. r6 plus 4 to capture would be a bad idea because the red would have the advantage, forcing the chariot away and then capturing material. The cannon will have impulse space to be developed. r4 plus 3, 3 plus 4, preparing to, this would be an attempt at a cannon pin to attack both chariots. Red does not bother, keeps going, and if r7 plus 2, check, and black would be prepared to play k5 equals 6 for the iron block checkmate. So r7 equals 2 is not a good idea. Instead, it would be better for red to capture the horse, not afraid of the cannon pin. r7 equals 5, a check, and red would now be prepared to to attack this flank. Now, it would not be a good idea to make this move first because the elephant will be moved out of the way, and there's always the threat of this move. And black would have a winning position. Black's pieces are all over the place, and red would have a hard time ahead. So r7 equals to is better. Black would not want that to happen, and black will still have the advantage. So r2 equals to 7 is r2 equals to 7 to capture the pawn is not a good idea. Instead, this is a complicated variation, but c8 plus 2 will be a better option. p7 plus 1, and black will push the horse to the riverbank. Both colors were attacking in this very complicated position, and each color will have its scruples. Variation C, p1 plus 1, a unique ingenious move. a6 plus 5, consolidating the defenses, preparing for r9 equals to 6 if necessary. p1 plus 1. Now, although black had wasted an extra move, but at this point in time, the chariot would now have pinned the elephant and the chariot over here. So again, the pawn will still be weakened. And now red doubles down on his attack on the edge file. Now in the past, it was common to play r4 plus 5 or c5 minus 1, but the results were not satisfactory. So this was a novelty that was a 30-year-old novelty that was introduced in the Webmaster's book. C minus 1, r4 plus 1, doubling down the attack again. And red is forced to play r9 equals to 7 for this level-headed counter. This would be a mistake because red would capture the pawn. If he played e9 plus 7, red will immediately capture the chariot. So c9 equals to 6 is played. And again, black would have managed to concentrate his material over here. The elephant cannot capture, or this would be a check. So black would have a very nice position. Black would have now seized the initiative and control the situation. So that is why it will be better for red to play r9 equals to 7. Black will capture the elephant, forcing a skewer, a trade on materials. This is a check, and move the chariot away. So at this point in time, each color would have its advantages. Red would be one elephant down, but the development of the black horses would be an issue that black has to consider. So let us review the board from the eyes of black. Same central cannon, same direction, foul versus ranked chariot, p3 plus 1. Cross balance with chariot, double-headed snake pawns, double rank chariots by black. e7 plus 9 is our position of discussion. 3 major counters, 4 plus 3, plus 4 plus 5, and p1 plus 1. Now this is not a good idea because the chariot at this point is vulnerable to attacks by the horse. So h3 plus 4, a better move, r4 equals to 6. Trading cannons is not a good idea because red's position will become very versatile. Right, a plus 2. And now a series of attacks on the black chariot is made. Threaten, 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 threaten again. And in the process of doing so, red would have gained an extra pawn and a winning position. Variation B, h3 plus 4 again. Now this move was played as a continuation of e7 plus 9. 4 equals to 3. Red immediately plays r9 equals to 7. Offer the trade of material, but red will now attack. Now best move, r1 equals to 6. p5 plus 1 would be a terrible idea because red will be more than happy to trade horses. c2 plus 3 will also be a bad idea because red would charge a pawn across the river, protect the horse in the nick of time, and attack the black cannon. So black would be in all sorts of trouble. So continue with r1 equals to 6, and red protects the horse in this manner. Now this is a steadfast move. This a very complicated variation would be r2 equals to 7, which is not advised because if played correctly, and we'll go through this line first. If played correctly, cannon pin, check, capture, move, 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 and black would have the advantage. So r2 equals to 7 to capture the pawn is not a good idea. So p7 plus 1, sacrificing the pawn, threatening the chariot, forcing it to be in a dangerous position, and h7 plus 6. Now this is a very complicated position, anything can happen. Both cards will be attacking and each color will have its scruples. Last but not least, variation C, the authors recommended an attack along the edge file, a6 plus 5, p1 plus 1. Again, the action is on this edge file, which is quite rare. Again, doubling down and tripling down the attack on the edge file, forcing the chariot away. H8 plus 9 is not a good idea because black would be able to capture the pawn, threaten the horse in the nick of time. If e9 plus 7, check. And red will be left with an undesirable position. c1 plus 5, check, and black would have gained an elephant in the process. So these three variations are discussed. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This will mark the last video in red's double-headed snake pawns variation versus black's double rank chariots, and there are 2 more bots left for this opening system in the book. This again, I repeat, this is the same direction cannons. Red will be playing the double-headed snake pawns, while black will go for the double rank chariots. So I hope you have enjoyed this series. If you like the work that I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Thank you.